I guess we're ready.
We're ready.
I don't know. They might not be ready.
They're not ready.
They're not ready for this.
Well, everyone's ready for you.
I don't know if that's true.
Everybody.
I really don't know if that's true.
Hey, everyone.
Should I play the intro now?
I guess.
I'll wait for you to say it.
Just go. No, just go.
In your head, lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
I'm just watching you smash a button. I'm like, all right, you gonna play it? You gonna play it?
I pressed it.
Smash, 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 smash.
I didn't want to press, okay?
All right, welcome back.
Because you can tell I can't press buttons.
Welcome for the first time,
Yes.
or the last time,
Yes.
or the next time,
Yes.
or the previous.
All of the times.
Times.
Thank you for every time that you come and listen to us, because I know that we're kind of annoying sometimes.
Or the 7th time,
Or the 8th time.
or the 9th
Or
time.
the 10th time.
How many episodes do we have?
This is 48.
We're just gonna keep going up until we hit about 600.
'Cause I
for the
think-
11th time.
Yeah, I think it's 48.
All right.
Damn.
Well, damn. All right, guys. Well, welcome back for realsies.
Yes, welcome back.
We hope you enjoyed last week's episode on.
Oh, God.
I don't remember. So
Layers of Fear?
I'm just hoping it was Layers of Fear at
Pretty
this
sure
point.
it was Layers of Fear.
All right. Well, it was probably Layers of Fear. We took a little sabbatical.
You know, with the holidays and everything coming up.
And here we are back at you with
Forgotten City.
6.
1. There's only one.
There is only one.
Before we get into the game, though, I just wanted to thank everybody who has listened to us. I checked our Spotify Wrap to see how many of the different listeners and stuff.
And there's 4. So we appreciate all 4 of you for
Well,
listening to us.
I
last
do
year.
want to say thank you for the 4 fans that have listened to almost every single episode.
There are 4?
There are 4 that have
Okay.
listened to almost every single episode.
Way to go. I don't know why that's calculated, but
There
it
are
is.
10 fans that have listened to our podcast more than any other podcast. And I say thank you.
Thank you
We
to those
love
10
you.
people who are very sad.
We also had our podcast has been in 17 different countries now.
Nice.
So, and our biggest country right now is actually Norway.
I'm going to say it's
So,
every
hello,
single
Norway!
country it's in, you can actually marry a 13-year-old. So, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know
I'm hoping
either.
good things.
For them, I hope you don't want to marry a 13-year-old.
I'm just saying, that's the
I think you're-
demographics we're attracting here. I
think-
think that's what we're going for.
I think your wife might be a little sad if you wanted to marry a 13-year-old.
I think that's what we're going to have to start doing.
Marry 13-year-olds?
No, just like pushing at that
If you know a lovely 13-year-old,
Yeah, no,
move to Norway. No.
pushing out that agenda for
Oh.
people, because it sounds like that's what they want. All right, we're pushing that agenda, guys.
Yes. But yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you for all those people. I'm going to be posting top 10 and top 5 videos of our top 5 and top 10 to show you guys on TikTok.
Oh, are you
what
going to
has
do
been.
that? Or I thought it was going to be top 5 of our least 10.
I could put our least top 10 too.
Top 5 of our least watched, listened to episodes!
It's surprising. One of our top episodes is our Pokemon episode. Which,
Why is that surprising?
well, it's just a little sad for me because that one I fucked up on a lot.
Well, that's okay.
You
It's
couldn't
not
tell on that
surprising,
one.
though. I mean, it's like, that's a popular game.
It was a popular
One
one.
thing that I've learned is that if we did like a Halo episode, people would listen because everybody knows Halo. If we do this episode, The Forgotten City, this is not a game that's merrily out there very much. Not a lot of people probably even know it exists.
It's gaining a lot of popularity if you're into like the video game awards and stuff like that because it was.
and that's where you put a little thing in
Asterisk
there.
there, yeah.
If you're into this, right?
If you're
Like,
really into the indie game scene
if
or
you're-
into the Skyrim
yeah.
scene,
If you have to say that, if you're into this, then you know it's not going to be a super popular game. But if we
Yes.
did like when we did Spyro the Dragon, that's a very popular game,
yeah.
you know? So it just, as you get out there more with these lesser known games, those are going to be the lesser listened to episodes because no one's going to give a shit about those ones.
For sure,
But
for sure.
Well, as you're into the bigger games, and that's why we kind of every once in a while do a huge game and play that one, and yeah. But we like doing these little lesser known games too. So.
yeah, we like doing these lesser known ones. We like doing the big popular ones. We like doing new and old because there's fans. Video game fans are very broad. Some like the old school ones. Some like the new school ones. Some like to game run. Some like to just exploring 100%
Some have
the
never
game.
played any
100%.
game but Pong, 1972 edition.
Whoa.
So,
I feel bad for those people.
hey, that was a great game. You go fuck
I mean,
yourself.
it was a great
You go
game.
fuck yourself.
I played the shit out of that game.
All right. Let's get into this.
All right.
We'll skip the first one.
What's on the box?
I just said we'll skip the first one.
There's nothing on the
So
box.
this game is like a mod of another game. So there's really no released box,
Yeah.
or if there is, we didn't have one,
So-
and we couldn't find one.
Yeah, this game originally started out as a mod in Skyrim. And then 3 guys stuck together. I think they worked on it for about 4 years, and they turned the mod into Skyrim into its own game.
Yeah,
So it definitely has that Skyrim kind of feel to it,
it does.
but like Roman times instead
But
of
like less.
fantasy.
Oh, and it's well. I don't even know if it has a Skyrim feel. I really didn't feel like I was playing Skyrim as I was playing.
I guess some of the textures kind of
Yeah.
remind you of Skyrim, like some of the walking and animations and just the way that people looked was kind of Skyrim-esque.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just move on to our next segment.
Are we jamming?
You know, I like the ambiance
I
music.
really liked the
Yeah,
ambiance
I think
music.
it worked really well for what was going on in this. It was it wasn't super original or
No.
anything like that, but it was a good, like scary when it was you were in like a more
Oh,
scary
yeah.
area. Nice when it was you were in like a friendly neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah.
Like everything turned out pretty well, I think, with the music.
I would kind of put this not maybe at the same level as like Minecraft ambiance music, but kind
Yeah.
of on that same level where it matches the tone of what's going on.
Yeah.
It very flows with the game as itself. And for a very story-driven and dialogue-driven game, this had some just nice dialogue. It had a lot of really funny moments. It
Yeah.
had a lot of like just pretty music that just made me like when I was reading, the music didn't take away from the reading.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome. Like I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, the dialogue of the characters is a little. You can tell they hired some subpar voice actors for some of the characters.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I think what's his name? Septimus. Is it Septimus?
Sentius,
Sentius?
the
Sentius,
main
yes.
guy, the magistrate.
Yeah, the magistrate. His voice actor was really good.
Yes.
But then some of them, the lady who's like trying to kill herself with the whatever root.
Lulia.
I don't remember.
Ilya.
Lulia.
Lulia. It's
I think
something like that.
Lulia. Yeah, her voice actor was shit.
we're gonna
She's like,
botch a shit ton of
yeah,
these names.
these names are
so
all Roman and shit.
Don't fucking add us.
Yeah. Listen, I know one name in there, and that's Al. That was a solid name.
Al Worf.
Al Worf.
What about Karen?
I don't give a fuck about Karen. Yeah, it's shit. I thought it was like the voice acting was really subpar on some levels and in some
yeah.
areas. Like one of my favorite was you meet this old man in the caverns. Did you get to that? I know there's a bunch of different endings. So
I think that was the one part of the ending that I was missing. I got 3 of the 4 endings done.
okay, so you didn't do like the last ending?
I watched it because I couldn't fucking find one of the tablets.
Oh, okay.
Because I was trying to do it without guides. I was trying to beat this game without guides.
This game was so simple without guides, Steven.
Okay.
It even like guided you with just notes on the actual quest lines. It'll tell you exactly what to do, and then you go do that thing, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I have it right here. Here you go, buddy."
And my game bugged out twice. I had to delete
you play
the
it on
game.
Xbox?
No, I played it on
Oh,
Steam.
weird.
The game bugged out twice. Like at first, I couldn't enter the town. Every time I'd go through the portal,
Yeah.
it would exit out of the game,
Weird.
and it kept on saying I had some save state already saved or something, and it was like going at it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I deleted it, started again, was finally able to play. But I had 2 different times where I had to fully delete the game and start it over again.
Weird. Yeah, mine was perfect. I had no troubles at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are we? We're in Are We Jammin', right? So
Yes.
let's just continue on with the
dialogue.
yes. So the old man down in the shaft, he's actually really fucking interesting. He was probably my favorite character.
That's
out of
the
all
Egyptian
of them.
guy, right?
No.
Oh, you're talking about.
He's a
this one.
Greek.
Okay.
He when you go behind one of the churches, it's not called like a chapel, and
the
you
temples.
you have to like crouch under and open this little like wooden
Okay.
door. He's down in these caverns, and he was there when the last group of people were there.
Oh.
He was the one not turned to stone because he hid in the cavern with 12 people, but everybody else is dead at this point. So he's the only one left from the last group. He's very old, and he's got a great voice actor. Whoever did that did such a good job.
Okay.
I thought he was the most convincing out of anyone in this whole fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that
Okay.
character, he's very wise. He's an intelligent person. His background's like he studied Socrates and stuff. So
Okay.
he's more of a philosophical kind of educator
Okay.
of sorts. So his voice actor like really reflected that image of that guy, and I really believed. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's really talking around me a lot.
I kind of liked. Let's see. I really liked Gallius, the first guy you meet. I liked him.
Oh yeah,
too.
the future mayor or whatever the fucking magistrate.
The first magistrate, if you can get him to be magistrate.
Yeah, easy.
And then who else did I really enjoy? I did kind of like Scintilla.
Scintilla, the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was pretty good.
She's gonna. The problem is what I had with the dialogue with Scintilla and several other characters is it's rushed. It's
It
super
did.
quick to like, hey, your sister's probably dead. What the fuck do you mean? Get the fuck out of my castle right fucking now!
Oh, Scintilla was the one that was the other sister that was tied up.
Kidnapped. So Cynthia.
Cynthia, yeah.
Yeah, Cynthia. Cynthia was the one who wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, their names are Cynthia, Scintilla.
Well, and they explain this actually in the game, which is
I
cool.
know.
They explain that the main guy, Sentius, if you're his first daughter, you get a name that's similar to them, which is Cynthia. And then if you're the second daughter, you get another name that's similar, but not as similar, Scintilla.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you take these daughters, and then they're not his real daughters, they're adopted,
No.
that he can marry off into more like richer families
Yeah.
in order to get. But I'm so confused how that works with 20 fucking people.
Yeah, there was, 25 people
Yeah,
total?
24, I think. It's fucking
'Cause it's-
insane.
Yeah, it was either 23 or 24, and 2 people were missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, small thing, but the voice acting wasn't always par, and like it was kind of like a little twitchy when the dialogue first got
Yeah.
started. Like it would be a little slow, and then it would catch up.
And you notice, like, when they move their mouths, it's not moving with the words, too. And
Yeah,
like,
there's definitely times.
You could tell that 3 people made this game real easy.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's still impressive for 3
It's
people.
still impressive. All right, let's move on.
All right.
How does it play?
This game is pretty straightforward. There's nothing
Yeah.
super mechanical about this game. It's a hard game to describe, but I would call it like an adventure
It's
limited RPG.
Yeah, time loop RPG.
Well, so, and when you get into specifics like time loop, who gives a shit about that? Like, adventure is the overcasting, whatever. You don't do too much fighting in this game. It's not really an action game of any sort, so I would call it just
Yeah.
an adventure limited RPG because you really don't upgrade anything. either.
True.
So you just get to pick your character at the beginning. But what character did you pick? Because I don't know if it even fucking
The
mattered.
female?
Female?
Like, what do you mean? What character did you pick?
What? So that's the side of the coin you picked. That's your gender.
Oh, yeah, the
There was
female.
archaeologist. There was
okay.
soldier.
Sorry. I was a female soldier.
Female soldier. See, and I picked the archaeologist.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know if there's even a difference between, like, one you just fight with logic, and one you're like, I got a gun, motherfucker. I'll
well,
fucking
the
shoot
soldier
you.
actually does have a gun.
Yeah, I know he does. He's
Oh, yeah.
10 bullets.
Yeah.
But he can't refill them.
No.
So,
You didn't need that many, though.
no. If you go back in time, do you regain all your bullets?
No.
Oh, you don't? That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That'd be
so
funny.
anything you used
What do you use for your bullets for?
to shoot people.
To when? When did you need to do that?
Like to get the first ending, you could just literally just go shoot.
Yeah, but you can do that either way.
Yeah, you could do it with the bow.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could just like I think it's mainly for like game running purposes.
Okay, yeah, and I'm guessing there were like aggressive tactics or whatever when you're in
Yeah.
dialogues, like motherfucker, I'll
there's
get your
actually an
ass.
achievement, which we can go into it more in the story. But there actually is an achievement for shooting the main bad guy in the head at the end of the
At the end of the game.
yeah
Which part? Like when you're rescuing
Cynthia.
Scintilla?
yeah
Okay, that's what I thought. But instead of her killing him.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there in all the aggressive dialogues, instead of being like, "I could shoot you with a bow" or something, you'd be like, "I could shoot you with this."
Yeah.
And it was always hilarious. Every time you pulled out your gun, I died laughing because every time you pulled out your gun, they're like, "What is that? What kind of weak ass shit is that?"
My favorite is if they would have turned the gun and then they'd be like, "Oh shit, it's on!
That'd be
Kill
awesome.
shot!"
I remember like there was one of the times one of the dialogue options was it's a tiny little trebuchet that can shoot some projectile so fast it can go through your armor and your skull.
Jesus.
And then he's like, "There's no such technology or equipment out there. You're stupid."
Yeah.
And it's like, I come from 2,000 years in the future. What the fuck do you mean there's no technology for it?
Well, who says it? Sentius?
Sentius,
Okay,
yeah.
well, he doesn't know how far in the future you come from.
I told him.
You tell him? Okay, but
Yeah.
and then he probably doesn't even fucking believe you.
No, I think he does because he was the one who called me.
No, he didn't call you.
He made the portal.
He
for
made
me.
the portal, but yeah, it could. I don't know. But
I don't know.
remember, if you're not from that time period, you can't possibly grasp anything that's from that time
True.
period. Try explaining like a phone to someone from 1 AD, and we'll see how well that goes, or 1 ACE, I guess.
There's a stand-up comedian who talks about that. I think it was like Nate Gaza. He's like, if I ever traveled back in time, I don't know if I'd be able to prove that I was from the future.
Yep.
Like if you travel back in time, you can make telephone calls with these little devices that you can hold in your hand later on. Like, how do you do that? I don't know, satellites or something? What is a satellite? I don't know, something in the sky?
Yeah, it's just literally to take that technology and make it real would be really difficult. But yeah, so this game really, what you're doing around this game a lot is just walking and dialogue. That's pretty
it's
much
exploration,
90%
dialogue.
Yeah.
There's some combat, mainly just
Yeah.
in the Shrine of Apollo, or not?
No,
the Secret Temple.
Yeah, the secret temple.
Yeah.
No, the palace. It's
palace,
considered
sorry.
a palace.
There's
But-
so many different names of these
Yeah.
places.
So yeah, mostly walking around, limited combat depending on which character you choose to, because you can start out with a gun, just start shooting people right away. I'm guessing that you waste all your bullets right off the bat. I guess what
Yeah.
the fuck you gonna do later. Anything you grab in this game, you take with you, which already should have fucking created the paradox.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, I grabbed this gold and now it's back here, so I have a duplicate of this gold. So how is this not a paradox? I am so fucking confused. Because two of the same thing existing at the same time when they shouldn't should create the paradox.
Well,
I was so fucking confused nonstop
because
on
if
that.
you take something out of a chest, but then you teleport back to
Then it's
before
still
it
in the
was there.
chest, but then you have an exact duplicate of that thing in the chest.
Yeah, but it's not like it matters about counterfeit or anything.
No, not counterfeit, exact duplicate. So sharing
Yeah.
the same space. There's theories out there that says that two objects of the same nature can't share the same space and time. So like if you take you and bring another one of you back with you, and if you touched or even got near each other, one of you would begin disintegrating.
Yeah.
That's a popular theory. Same with that. And it creates a paradox of sorts in time because your past self wouldn't have met you, but your future self did.
I mean, there's a bunch of theory. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying with that. There's
So-
a ton of different time travel theories.
Yeah, so that was
And
one
it's like
theory they
with-
clearly just said, we're not going to fucking deal with this.
Probably.
This is
It's
just
probably
too much.
easier just not to.
Yeah.
Especially with only having 3 of them.
Yeah,
So.
so and then there's money in this game that you don't fucking use.
You can.
I know you can, but it's really just, it's only used in certain dialogue options that are really limited.
I first used it to stop the guy from committing suicide and
Yeah,
free the
yeah.
two slaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do that, but like, I don't know, you only do it once.
Yeah.
You only need to do that once, and then after that you just get you don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
You could literally just get the secret note from that guy
True.
and just make him free him. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So the money, and then I think the other part you have to use the money if you want to buy what's his face's vote for Galerius or whatever his name is.
Maybe.
The guy who tricks you, who you get the
Oh,
bow for.
Theseus.
I don't remember. He's the general
Yeah.
merchant.
Yeah.
And he you can buy his vote for 1,000 coin, I think.
You can also buy the medicine for that girl for
I
1,000.
just stole it.
I stole it too.
Yeah, there's no point buying that. I'm like, okay, we'll just reset,
Yeah.
and then I have it.
Exactly.
See, and I had no idea if you reset, you still had your items until the
I
the
didn't
third time.
either.
I think I only did it 10 times. So
5. I was at 5.
yeah, so you have to do it. You can do it. You can do it 0 times if you're smart.
Yes, and there is an achievement for doing, which honestly, the first ending you can get in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah. No. Well, no, a little longer.
Maybe.
No, for sure, because you have to do the whole dialogue with Karen and then jump into the fucking.
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
You probably got about.
from once you enter this.
Yeah,
town.
once you enter the actual
So
town.
yes, like probably 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you can just run in there, and especially if you have the gun, you can shoot Gallius, and then when Sintius runs up, you could shoot him, and then you win.
Yeah. Yeah, so or you could just run over to the Sentius. Either way, I think either way it's the same speed, right? Because either he's running to you or you're running to him.
Yeah.
Or you can snipe him from across the map and see if you can do it.
Well, if you kill Gallius, you can take his zip line, and you can zip line down while he's running, and you can meet him like right in the middle, and it's all a little quicker.
Oh, well, I'm saying you snipe him from the point you exit
That would
the
be
portal.
impressive. That would be impressive.
Die.
I don't know if the bullet would travel that far.
It will, if you believe.
I believe.
So there's 4 endings to this game. Each one individually you can do differently, and we'll get into that when we get into the story. But it's really nice in this game because they actually tell you there are 4 endings.
Yes, it really
Which
does.
is-
Every time you complete an ending, it tells you what ending you got, and there's different varieties on those 4 endings.
And there's
too.
really only one ending that's worth it. The other endings are shit. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they
not
really
good,
are.
and they make no fucking sense. And we'll explain that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we said, mostly this game mechanics are talking and walking.
Yes.
It's your glorified adventure game. You're discerning clues to get quests done. You have a certain amount of quests that each person has that result in different things that can happen in the future. So it's very interesting, and I really like that about this game. Like, it's your true adventure game, not too much combat, and the combat you did get wasn't too like terrible or anything.
No, it wasn't too bad. It was actually like pretty interesting. There was smart ways to go about it.
Yeah.
I really did like the voices helping you.
Yeah.
Throughout certain things, especially like in that time when you're in the palace.
Oh, by the way, I called this whole game within the first 4 minutes of playing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's fucking aliens. This whole game is fucking aliens. Are you kidding me? This is fucking aliens. Then at the end of the game, I'm like, are you kidding me? We're on a fucking spaceship?
Well, yes and no.
No, it's aliens. They come from a planet called Elysium.
Oh, okay.
They're a highly advanced creature that's come to Earth because they were curious of humans.
It's kind of funny that the deities that we've called deities, or Romans called deities, were...
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you fucking kidding me? Yeah, of course I knew this, because any time travel bullshit game I play where it's like, you're in olden times now, and it's fucking aliens every fucking time.
I got so fucking excited with some of these deities in here, because Smite Season 9's coming out pretty soon, and they just released a clip of, they do a cryptic, like, 2-minute video on showing clues of what the next, like, 5 gods are going to be. And one of the clues was a golden arrow, and it showed, like, Roman stuff around it, and I was like, it's the god from the Forgotten City game! It's going to be in Smite!
It starts with a D, right?
Yeah. I was like, that's totally going to be the new god in Smite.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
it's
fucking
Artemis,
awesome.
I think.
Well, it's the
Roman
Artemis,
version of Artemis, so, or similar.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this game, very straightforward. So I guess let's just move on to the next segment then.
It's story time. Let's get started.
All right, so story time.
Woo!
We'll give you a brief overview of what's going on. Yeah. Thank you, crowd of 4 people who are cheering right now. So the brief overview is you start this game next to the Tiber River, and the Tiber River is a river in Italy.
Yes.
It's a river that famously traveled through Rome. There's a lady next to you, and this, I was so confused starting out.
I know.
It makes so much more sense when you get to the end of the game, but I
Yes.
had no idea what was going on. She's like, I pulled you out of the river. Can you go find my friend? And I was like,
Oh,
no.
you have this coin here.
Yeah, fuck no, I'm not going to go find your friend. You go fuck yourself. I'm taking your boat and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, what the hell do you mean, find your friend?
He just went into that temple over there. Okay.
And
Why?
you go find him. I rescued him from the river too. I'm like, why is everyone drowning in this river? What is happening? I was so confused.
And everyone you talk to, when they talk about, like, how they got to this place, oh, I fell into the river, and then I woke up by this girl pulling me out of the river, and she gave me a coin and told me to go into the temple, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Well, no, so she doesn't give you the coin.
Or,
Remember,
yeah,
she
you
says,
have the coin.
She's like, I went through your pockets and found some loose change, so I took it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what did you do?
It's so weird. Well, and I love it, because when you're first talking to her, she asks your name and everything, and you type in your name, and then you can ask her what her name is. She's like, I don't want to tell you.
Oh, it's
And then-
embarrassing.
Yeah, and then you're like, come on, tell me. And she's like, it's embarrassing. It's got a lot of negative connotations. I just don't want to say it. What's your name? Fine. It's Karen.
Yeah, and see this. If you're doing this all out of context where you have no idea what the game's about, which I did not, I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is happening? Why won't you tell me your name?
Well, and I was just laughing because I was like, oh, it's Karen. Aha, I get it.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
I didn't get it.
And then it's funny because at one point you can talk to the priestess and you can tell her that her name was Karen.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then you kind of like say that there's negative connotations to that name. And she's like, what do you mean? And you're like, oh, because of the memes. And she's like, what are memes? And I'm like, it's like little pictures that depict kind of funny stories.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, kind of like Egyptian hieroglyphs. In a way.
Yeah, you like starting this game out without knowing it. You think it's already a shit game because I thought it was a shit game. Starting
I thought
out.
at first it
I'm
was,
like,
honestly.
okay, I'm just gonna go in there and find Al. I guess here we go. Find an Al.
Well, and like as much praise as this game got coming into this game, I was like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah, it's so
I was
weird.
like, this is weird. It's wonky. It's buggy. Like, especially because I had that bug issue
Well,
at
and
the beginning.
yeah, and like I said, mine had no issues, so it just might have been on your
probably was
side
just
of
on
things. It's weird because when you get in there, you're like all these golden statues, and they're clearly people.
Yes.
They're like, it's making a weird pose. I'm like, I wonder what that's alluding to.
Well, and the creepiness, the creepy factor of this is, I was playing with headphones, and every time I'd
Well,
pass a
that's so
statue,
weird. It's not. Yeah, well, they'd whisper.
well, they'd whisper, yeah, and that was fine or whatever. But I would hear a turn, like a metal thing turn, and I turned around and it was facing me. I was like, that wasn't facing me before, so I walked to the other side of it and turned my back, and then I heard it again. I was like, it's fucking following me.
Yeah, and every statue ended up doing that. What's weird is that so on the first day, none of them do that.
Yes.
They don't even talk to you.
No.
And so when they started, I'm like, what just made that sound?
Yeah.
And it was like the third time I looped. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
I think it was the third time for my loop
Yeah.
when I actually noticed them changing their head
Yeah.
directions, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So you walk through the first part of this. You make it to a statue that's hung itself.
Yeah, and you find a suicide note from
But
Al
did you notice
Worf.
what the suicide note was chiseled?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, he must have really thought about this. He fucks up one letter. Just,
You know,
it's chiseled in rock, guys.
it was very thorough. He wanted to make sure that he really wanted to commit suicide.
Yes.
But I mean, being stuck in a time loop for however long he was stuck in the time loop.
Yeah, thousands of days.
Yeah.
That's what that guy said.
Yeah.
So
that's fucking.
then I took Al's body and I threw it over the edge of the cavern and I laughed.
Did you really?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that would be great if you could do that.
I was like, you could do that.
I just loved when you had the bow, you could turn things back to gold, and then you could kick them.
Yep.
And I'm like, Juto, kick
Yep.
each time.
Kick him in the face, shoot him in the head, kick him again.
Well, you kick them because they do trap you.
Yeah.
If they get in front of you, you can't go around them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this when you get into the actual city, but there's a door, and what's his face tells you about it if you help him out with the flower. But there's a door that's behind a statue that has a chest in it, right?
Okay.
And I noticed it immediately, and I'm like, okay. So because after my first loop, I'm like, so that all the statue move, I think this one will move out of the way of the door. So maybe I should try to search in that chest because I bet that's a storyline.
Huh.
And once it moves and you go in there, there's just 5,000 denarii in there.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And
That's
I did
more
that.
than you would ever need in this game.
Yeah, I did it 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
I reset 3 times just to get that gold 3 times.
Oh, damn.
So 3 of my resets are just to get that gold.
And I think I only got about 5,500 gold throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed. I still had 2,000 left over.
Yeah, and I spent it nonstop. So I was doing the thing. I'm like, here, take this 2,000 gold because I hadn't done that storyline yet where because I ignored the archer guy because the first time I went up to him,
Oh, okay.
he fucked with it and I had to go back. That was my first reset. It's the first time I go up to the archer guy
Oh, okay.
because I had no idea I needed a bow.
Yeah.
But then I hear one guy saying, hey, can you make me a bow? And I'm like, I know where there's a bow.
Right.
So then I went back there and I figured out exactly what to do that time. But it was interesting going through this game. It's very fun, but we won't get into the whole story. The story
Yeah.
basically is when you enter the city, there's a time portal that you enter. You find Al dead, and there's only a one rule you have to follow, and it's don't commit sin.
The golden rule.
Yeah.
And that, and like,
Makes
you
no
even
fucking
ask
sense.
in the game, like, what sins can't you commit? Because is it just all sins? Is it biblical sins? Is
Yeah.
it sins of the magistrate? And it almost really does seem to be sins that the magistrate says are sin.
No.
No, well,
No, the guy. So if you end up doing the last ending, you can ask the guy this question.
That's true.
And he goes, "Yeah, it's whatever." And you're like, "What? So which sins are bad?" I was like, fucking general ones. No murder, no stealing. All right, what about rape? I mean, people rape. Okay. Well, what about suicide? You're getting really specific now, guys.
I thought it was weird that suicide wasn't a sin.
Well, back then it wasn't. Remember?
That's true.
So back in Roman days and Greek days, it was actually more honorable to commit suicide than it was to die some other way.
That's true.
So you take yourself out rather than having someone else take you out. That was super. It didn't become weird until Christians came around and they were like,
Yeah.
"Listen, guys, killing yourself isn't
Which
cool."
I did enjoy this aspect of the game with it having multiple different religions and
Yeah.
multiple different people because they all come from different times.
Yeah.
And like you've got a group of like Christians who are trying to hide that they're Christians.
Yeah.
You got the Romans, which I enjoyed that the Romans were like okay with everybody. They're okay with women, gay.
Who was the second Christian? Because I think it's Rufius. I think Rufius was the second
I
Christian.
think so too.
But I wasn't 100%. I know the girl was one of them.
Yeah.
And then she had a note on her, I think, or I found a note in her room saying, "Hey, if you want to worship, here's a worshiper." And it's just like they took a Roman statue and carved a fish into it.
Yeah.
What fucking dumb
Yeah, there was
shit.
a bunch of fish carvings in
Yeah.
that like area.
So I think Rufius was the one who sent it. I don't
think it
remember
is
why I
Rufius.
thought it was Rufius. But because he had the key.
Well, and he had the key, and
Which is the
he
only
was-
reason I thought it was him.
And he was homophobic.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
extremely against Virgil.
Yes. He
Yeah.
was homophobic and he had the key, but he ends up getting married to Virgil. If you do the last ending. I'll go through the last ending with you, don't worry. But yeah, so, and I thought it was him because he had the key specifically, and the
Okay.
note said, "Hey, if you want to worship something, I fucking
Makes
carved a
sense.
fish. I made a fish. Would you like to go worship Christ?"
All right.
And the lady's like, "What? What do you mean
Yeah,
you
I
made a
did notice
fish?"
that there was like, even on the 4 endings, there was alterations of those 4 endings, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so you
Like,
could do...
depending on how many people you saved,
Yeah.
or how many people you didn't save, or like even different dialogue options you had.
Yeah. So we'll get into some of the endings now. First ending we already explained. You could just do it right away.
Yeah.
If you have the bow or you have the gun, you can just kill the main bad guy, Sentius, who is holding... He made the time portal.
Yes.
And he's holding the whole city hostage because he wants to live forever.
Yes.
So if he relives the same day over and over forever, he lives forever.
Yes.
But if you go through the time portal every day, you actually gain a day of time.
Yes.
So you're not living forever. So it's weird because he doesn't have any time pass. So if no one goes through the portal for 1,000 years, he doesn't notice.
Yeah.
He doesn't notice at all.
Yeah, and that's where he starts. He makes the portal for others to come in.
Yeah.
Because he wants you to keep resetting the day and you keep aging, but he doesn't.
Yeah, which is weird. It's a bad idea because he doesn't know this, but as it turns out, there's only a limited number of those fucking coins.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 left in the world at the point that you come in.
Al's and you.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
So you're the last person who could possibly fucking do that for him. But I
Yep.
think she spreads the coins out after they leave. But the idea was some of the coins were used to make other stuff.
Yeah.
So the Greeks and the Romans all used it to make silver jewelry because silver at the time was really rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first ending, you shoot him right away. And this, again, doesn't make any fucking sense.
It creates the time paradox.
Yes.
You go back to
Yes,
time.
exactly.
And Al is just about ready to go into the temple, and you're waiting at the entrance of the temple.
And you give him a suicide note, and you're like, "Look,
Yep.
you killed yourself, bro."
Yeah. And he's
And
like,
he's
wow,
like-
this handwriting does look familiar.
And you're like, I was just like, handwriting? Did you just say handwriting? It's chiseled, motherfucker. What do you mean handwriting? I had no idea what he meant. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I chiseled this myself. I can tell my chiseling.
I mean,
I got some
you
skills.
might be able to tell your own chisel.
It must be. It's so fucking weird. So you give him that, and then he's pissed at you. He's like, "You mean there's no way out?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean there's no way out? So if you just explore, because he ends up finding the way out in the last ending and in the second and third ending.
Yeah.
And as long as it's unlocked, as long as you have a fucking key for it, which normally you do, but it's weird. Also, how the fuck do you have the key?
I was kind of curious on that.
So sorry, it must be unlocked because she must have had the key,
Yes.
opened the door, and then never locked it again, which
Yeah.
makes sense. But the door is unlocked, but I'm like, okay, if it's been 2,000 years and that shit is made of fucking iron, that shit is not going to last very long. You should be able to bust that shit open with a fucking rock. I was so confused. Well, yeah, and you can't just kick it open. It's probably stronger than that, but you could probably get a rock and hit it a couple hundred times and break it. You have nothing but time there. What the fuck are you thinking? You have no way out.
It's really loud, though.
Okay. But it's just the weirdest fucking way to do that, is to say, like, well, now we're stuck here for eternity, and that's the ending. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, you're not. They
Yeah.
didn't think that one through too much, I think. They really didn't try too hard.
I won't spoil this one part, but I think my favorite part of the entire thing was
Why won't you spoil it?
I guess we could spoil
Yeah,
it.
if they're listening to this, they already know the spoilers.
There's spoilers, bitches. My favorite part of this entire story was definitely the chick who also was hearing the voices.
Oh, yeah.
And
It starts
she-
with an N. Nareen?
Navi, I don't. It's
I don't
something.
remember.
It's in. She's in. But she locks herself in this palace, and she starts putting these gold statues on these torture racks, and then trying to figure out if she can, because she keeps hearing them whisper, and she ends up falling in love with the statue.
Yeah.
And then she, puts
This
these
was
statues.
interesting, though, too.
It was super
That you could
interesting.
peel the gold off.
Yeah,
I guess we
she
haven't
said it was-
explained this yet. The gold...
Oh yeah.
people turn to gold if they break the cardinal rule.
So yeah, if a sin is committed, you hear a godly voice say, "The sins of the few."
The sins of the one shall harm the many.
Yeah.
And so if even one person does something wrong, everybody in the town is turned to gold.
Yes. Like golden archers come out with golden bows and
Yeah.
golden arrows, and they start shooting people, and they turn you to gold.
Yeah.
And so this girl, realizing that the people are actually still alive inside of the gold, they're just encased in gold.
Yeah. This was the creepiest shit.
She puts them on the torture racks and starts like drilling and sawing and doing everything she
Well,
can.
not drilling.
Well, with whatever tools she had.
She's got like a prior and a saw. She's just
And
prying.
she said she sawed through half of an inch thick of gold
Yeah, on each person.
on each person.
And there's blood,
But
too.
she said that the gold actually infused with their skin, so when she ripped the gold off, it ripped their flesh off.
Yeah.
So they're basically just bones.
Yeah,
at
they're
this point.
zombies. They're golden zombies, and they
And-
attack you, and you have to
oh,
turn them back
God.
to gold with the golden bow that
And
you
it's
find.
fucking creepy as shit because they're all begging for you to kill
Yeah,
them.
and this is their voices. The voice that you hear throughout this entire game through the statue is one person talking to you from far
Yep.
away. But the voices you hear when they're like, "Kill me," it's them.
Which I love too. The
Yeah.
hidden voice was.
Oh yeah, the fucking insaneness of that part of the game
Yeah.
is so fucking. And then you have to either kill her, I think, or turn her to gold, or convince her. And I didn't even have to use that arrow at any given point during the game on people. I didn't have to turn anyone to gold. You can talk your way out of every situation. It
Well,
seemed like.
and if you turn anyone to gold, it counts as killing them.
Yeah. So if you,
So it's a cardinal sin.
I didn't even know if it would work on her. I was kind of curious if
Yeah.
that would count as, because there's no way to get out of there quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder if you can. And then I tried to shoot the soldiers with the gold arrow to see if it turned them back to gold instead of
Oh,
moving gold.
I
and
know.
it doesn't work.
I was hoping the same thing.
Doesn't work.
I was hoping that you could shoot gold with gold and it would reverse
Yeah.
the thing. But
I never
no,
died. Did you die?
Twice.
Okay, so you do actually die. So you can easily like bob and weave from the soldiers. They don't. It takes like 3 hits to kill you or something.
Yeah. 3 hits to kill you with their arrows. You do take fall damage too. I died
Yeah.
one time because of fall damage. I guess I died 3 times. I died once from the assassin when I first walked up to him and didn't know what was going on with the story before
Yeah.
that. The second time I died was fall damage, and then
Wait,
I
how did he kill you?
with his bow.
Well, with me, he threatened to kill me, but then as soon as he threatened to kill me, or no, he shot at me, which I think was assault, but he doesn't kill you in one hit.
Oh, he killed. I think he killed me.
I think it must maybe the golden statues got you at that point then, because there are like 4 golden statues all around you.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Because
Maybe
he shoots you and then he's like the sin of the one, blah 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 blah.
Maybe I shot him and then the gold statues all came after me. Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Yeah, so
because I didn't realize where all those golden archers were. Which once you know where they are, it's pretty easy to dodge where they are too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's just easy to dodge them. You just bob and weave a bit, and then they don't hit you ever. So, second ending.
Yes.
You can rescue Scintilla.
Yes.
Scintilla is the daughter of Sentius, who has been missing along with like 2 other people, the Egyptian guy, and then this other guy who I can't remember his name, but he was like the father figure of the crazy dude.
Hannibal.
Hannibal, yes.
Hannibal.
So
I thought Hannibal died though.
He did die.
Yeah.
But he's missing at the. You don't know that.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
knows that because if he died, then why isn't he around? Why didn't the golden sin get broken or whatever? So he must have killed himself somehow.
Probably.
So you find Hannibal and her. Hannibal's dead. He's a skeleton, which I'm still so confused about. Because like it was a week before I think that they went missing or something. 3 weeks before, and I'm like, decomposition does not happen that fast. But I'm thinking that the zombie thing in there must have like been ripping at its.
Oh, probably.
Or the. Because there's probably no mutilation of body sin.
Probably not.
So the guy Sentius could have fucking ripped off all his fucking
Probably.
skin. But I have no idea. It doesn't ever explain how Hannibal dies.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sentius might have said something, but I don't remember. I don't think he did because I did confront him after I found Scintilla.
Yeah.
Because you can climb it or whatever. I didn't get the key first. I climbed
it too.
Yeah. So you get into the sewers. You climb this thing. You kill the thing down there. There's like a little gold statue guy down there. So he must have stolen that from the palace.
Probably.
And then you find Scintilla who's kidnapped, and she's like, "Please free me. I don't care about the others. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
Much.
Just fuck them all.
I know the way out. I can help you.
It's right behind me." And you're like, "All right, see ya. Bye, Felicia. Bye." So yeah, you can.
I love letting her kill Sentius.
Yeah. So you can let her out, and Sentius will come down and be like, "It's monologue time."
Right.
And then she'll just bash him with a rock or something, right? I think it's a rock.
No, she lights him on fire.
Oh, that's right. She fucking lights him. Yeah, it makes no sense. There's no starter fluid around her.
Yeah, I didn't know I don't know how she started a fire, but she was just behind him, and then she was like, "I'm right here," and like touched him, and then he was just engulfed fully in flame, and then died.
Oh,
within
really?
seconds.
On mine, she actually goes, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
Surprise, motherfucker! All rise, motherfucker!
She lights him on fire, but there's no like starter fluid anywhere around her. What the hell is that? Wow. Okay. Wow. There's no starter fluid. So how the fuck does he lights up like instantly? Like
and then he's like,
yeah, look, it makes no sense. There's no starter fluid. So like you can light someone's clothes on fire, but he's also wearing mostly metal.
Yeah.
Like,
no, he's wearing very Roman century.
And he's not wearing cloth. He's wearing leather. I think it's
Yeah.
leather and metal, which leather doesn't light on fire very well. I don't
No.
think so. It's very confusing how she lit him on fire. But again, just 3 people fucking made this game. So what are you gonna do? So if you free her 2 times, so there's 2 different endings with freeing her.
Yeah.
You can free her the first time and just she escapes. When he dies, you create the paradox and you go back in time and she opens the gate and you could still escape. And she leaves you a note saying, "Hey, you just kind of disappeared in a flashlight, dog. What happened?"
Right.
All right, well, my life's pretty good. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. And then, that's one ending with her.
And then the second one is you can gather everybody in town first.
That's as well as you can. You tell Galerius at the beginning to do it for you.
Which, I gotta say, as far as time loop games go,
That was a good
this
idea.
was the most brilliant idea they could have done.
Yeah.
Have one guy standing at the entrance of where you start the time loop again that you can just go up to and be like, "Hey, I need you to go do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this." And he just goes and does all that.
And he's just like, "I don't know you, but I like you. All right, I'm on it."
He's like, "You sound like you're really important and you really know what you're doing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and I'll talk to you about it later." And I fucking loved that because you didn't have to replay every single thing again, because that's one of the things that sucks with all of these time loop games. It's just how much you have to replay every single dialogue thing over and over.
Well, and I thought
over
that's what
again.
I would have to do, and I'm like, this is gonna get old so fast. But luckily, I talked to him because I just kept skipping him, and then when you go up to him, he auto talks to you, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's an option to have you go save this bitch."
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. No. I seriously, I just Brilliant.
Yeah. And if you do that, it makes him popular and he becomes mayor.
Yep.
Mayor guy. Magistrate, but it's mayor. He's mayor.
Same thing.
He's the fucking mayor. So, in this ending, you can ask him to go gather people, or you can do it yourself. Only a few people end up showing up. I think it's Scintilla, Galerius.
It depends on what you do. So this is where some of the alternate things can do. You can actually have him save all of them except for like 3 of them.
Okay, so it's the people you help out, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can, if you don't get, if you don't save Dooley, then Gallius and one other person will go try to save Dooley, and they won't make it back in time.
Yeah.
And that's the ending I got, the third ending I got, where I saved everybody except for, I think, Dooley, Gallius, and one other person.
Oh, nice. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, with that one, I just said, like, go gather everyone up. And then I ran to her, and I'm like, let's just get this fucking thing over with. Because you could save in certain spots, and this was the easiest way to do it. Okay, so those endings all, I think they take, 4 minutes each, maybe, if that. The last ending takes way longer.
Way longer.
And it's way more.
Canon ending.
Yeah, so you have to collect these fucking plates that, for some reason, the Greeks didn't like that the Egyptians were here, so they fucking stole their plate. The Egyptians didn't like that the Sumerians were here, fucking stole their plate.
Yep.
And the Romans didn't like that the Christians were there, and the Christians didn't like that the Romans were there, so they stole each other's plates. It's so fucking stupid.
So, yeah, there's 4 different plates that you have to collect.
Yeah.
And then you have to put it on the statue in front of the big temple on the top where the guy commits suicide. And
it's a monolith. So a monolith, it has 4 little slots in it that you can place each plate in. And if you do that, you get to go into the temple that's right behind you.
And then, once you get up to the door, you have to answer who the god is in charge of everything, right?
No. So each door, there's 4 doors, and it's just for that architecture type, who's the god for that. So the first one's the Roman, so it's, who the hell is it? Neptune? Not Neptune. Yeah, Neptune. I think it's Neptune. Okay. And then the second one's Hades. Okay. Third one is Osiris, and the fourth one is Nergal. Okay. So each door represents each bit of architecture, which I'm like, Jesus, did they just literally expand the temple? Right. This temple is not that long on the outside. How the fuck did they do this? So I'm guessing because
godly magic.
Yeah, well, it's science. It's for sure he's teleporting you to each temple, which I think is actually built on top of.
I think so. Yeah. I think they were deconstructed and put in place.
So
where the other one was.
This ending, there's a lot to it. There's a lot that you can do around it. Basically, you want to help everyone you can. Yes. Like every single person, you've got one guy who's gay who needs to get this other guy who he doesn't know who it is off his back by stop writing graffiti. Mm-hmm. You have one guy who has arthritis and you have to figure out how to cure him or how to ease his pain a little bit. You've got one guy who's looking for the golden bow. You got to help him out. You got one guy who, you have to get the chick away from the assassin and not to go in the temple. Yep. And then you have to tell the assassin to go in the temple and you kill that guy technically, but you don't kill him.
You've got to free the 2 slaves. Yep. Stop them both from committing suicide.
Save Dooley.
Save Dooley if you can.
So what's nice is you don't have to do any of this if you've already done it once.
Yes.
At the end, because once you do that, he just frees everyone. Yep. I think if you I should have saved before this and done both. Try to get the bad dialogue and the good dialogue, because I didn't know what was going to happen when I went into this. True. But the good dialogue is so easy to tell. But you have to do all of this to get the good dialogue. Yes. Because if you don't do this, you don't get the examples. You need examples to give him. Yeah. What's an example of an unfair crime to you?
I know I didn't have enough examples on a couple of them, but I was still able to get, I think, what the good dialogue was. If you were able to convince him that it's human to make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you do the ending? Did you watch it? You said you watched it. I watched the ending. Yeah. So you get...
Because I got through I was trying to do this all without guys, and I got through the first 3 endings. I got through all 4 of them.
Yeah, they're easy. This game is so intuitive on itself.
Oh yeah, getting through.
So you didn't go beneath the cavern and talk to the Egyptian dude?
No, that's the one I haven't.
Okay, that one was really interesting too. You get to see that in the cavern that other people have made this before. This is where you get your first insight on other people who have been here before, not just the Romans.
Okay.
So your goal in here is to get the plates. You find the Roman plate in this room that the fish is in. It's like a locked room. You have to get the key for it. You have to cure what's his face's arthritis, and then tell him like, "Hey, I cured your arthritis." He's like, "What? You did? Fucking sweet.
I owe
Here's
you
a
a
key.
favor."
Here's a fucking key."
Yeah.
And then if you ask him where the Roman plate is, he'll tell you like, "Oh yeah, I fucking saw that thing. Here's a key to it."
Yeah.
The Greek plate is in Dooley's cell.
Yes.
To do that, you have to make Galerius mayor, and then have him free Dooley.
Yep.
And then the first time I did this, I thought he just gave you the plate.
I couldn't figure out how to get Galerius to become the magistrate. Like I was like, is it supposed to happen on another day? Like,
No. You give him everything to do.
Yeah.
And he does it, and then he says, "I declare myself for magistrate." Then you go up to the priestess and you talk to her, and she says, because if you talk to her originally, she's like, if you go through every dialogue option like I did, you get to find out that she's the executor for the election, and that she can hold it, and she holds it at the end of the day. But if there's an extreme circumstance, she could start it now. And I'm like, okay, so if I find someone else to go in here.
Yeah.
I thought, because at the first I thought Sentius, well, and I called it Sentius was the bad guy, but I'm like, do I have to get him reelected to figure out what the next step is?
Yeah.
So, but I never ended up doing that because I didn't give a fuck, because you don't need to do that at all. But
no.
Greek plates in Dooley's cell, which have to get Galerius elected. And again, I thought he just handed it to you. Mm-hmm. He hands the key to the cell to you, so you don't have to go up the vines anymore. You can just go around. But the fucking thing's in the fucking cell.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Oh.
So the first time I did it, I'm like, well, I don't have a fucking plate. Did I get glitched? Fuck, I got glitched. I got to do it again. And I did it again. And I'm like, he still didn't hand me the plate. So that's when I noticed it in the cell.
I saw that there was a way to...
Pretty pissed about that.
If you were able to kind of jump on something you probably weren't supposed to be able to jump onto in the back, that you could actually grab the plate without actually going in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't too bad anyway.
No, it wasn't. So I grabbed it that way.
Okay. So yeah, you grab that plate, so that's that one. Mm-hmm. The Egyptian plate is probably the longest one. Oh, sorry, the Sumerian plate. Egyptian one's easy.
Okay.
If I remember right... Oh, shit, where is it? It is...
Is that the one where you have to fight that guy whose name starts with K?
No, not Kabosh. You don't have to do that. He has got the Nurgle plate. He's got the Sumerian.
Okay.
So the Egyptian one, he knows where it is. Where the hell is it? I think the old guy down in the cavern has it.
I think you're right.
I think he has that plate.
I think you're right.
So if I remember right, because he's the one who tells you all the stuff about people being there before you. He's got a great analogy. He's like, so what is sin? If you go to a cannibalistic tribe and don't eat someone, well, you're the sinner in that tribe. But if you come to a Roman tribe and eat someone, well, you're the sinner in that tribe. So what truly is sin? And that was that's why he's got the best dialogue.
Well, and I honestly, that's something that I've always kind of wondered entirely. I always hate that with a lot of these, especially with the Christian faith, is if you don't know about God or if you've never heard about God, you can't go into heaven. I was like, what kind of fucking...
Yeah, it's weird. It's all based on perspective. But yeah, he gives you the real perspective of it, which was really cool to hear. Then after he gives you that plate, you have to follow Kabosh through the Egyptian ruins and then eventually to Sumerian ruins. And because he throws the Nurgle plate down into this cavern. You're like, dude, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's like, listen, you don't get it. Fuck you. I'm like, God damn it, guy.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Fuck you, dog.
So you can you follow it. Eventually, the whole place floods because you can make it flood. You can just step on pressure plates that have rocks hit the wall.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't sure what the point in that was, but I did it anyway. So I made the place flood, and I got the plate, and you can talk to him at the end. And I think, again, there's another dialogue option where you can shoot him with the bow, or you can talk your way out of it. And it's not hard to talk your way out of it. It's all really easy dialogue. You're like, okay, if I say this, he'll probably resonate well. And then some of it's I got a 50-50 shot on this. But I think either option would have been okay to say.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of the dialogue options where you kind of can just tell based off of who the person is what they kind of want to hear.
Well, up to this point, you never met Kabosh.
True.
So, but he's very frivolous and religious.
Yeah. But I mean, even just talking to him for a little bit, you can kind of start to tell, oh, this guy is really picky about this.
He's a stupid bitch, is what he is. He's literally yeah, fucking Greeks copied the Egyptians and the Romans copied the Greeks. So the Egyptians, and then I found this fucking plate. We didn't copy shit, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. This is bullshit. This plate is fake news.
Fake news.
Made by the Democrats and the Republicans. Like, literally, it's the dumbest fucking line. You're like, you just realized that the Greeks copied the Egyptians and the Romans copied the Greeks. So why the fuck won't you accept that the Egyptians copied the fucking Sumerians? I'm so confused. And that's why he throws the plate down.
They're the best.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And then clearly Christianity went off way on a tangent because that has nothing to do with a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, it's because they derived all their religious views from all these other different.
Yeah.
They like most of their rituals are all from pagan
Yeah.
things. Like Christmas was from the northern solstice.
Yeah.
Or winter solstice.
Yeah. And so you get the last plate and you throw them all in and you go through the stupid temples and you answer the stupid questions and you meet
The god of the underworld.
or an alien in a spaceship above the earth and you get to see a cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like this part.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, so you're walking down this like long hallway, and it looks like
light
if you've played in Knights of the Old Republic 2, it looks like the ship at the end of the game. I can't remember what it's like, the Ravager or something like that.
Okay.
And it looks just like when you're walking up to the big bad boss at the end of Knights of the Old Republic 2, and I'm like, that's so fucking sweet. And you get up to him, and it's this guy sitting in a chair. He looks human, and he's got a girl next to him, frozen in some kind of like plastic bubble, and then another girl next to him, or not girl, I guess.
Wearing a hood.
No, it's literally a skeleton wearing a hood. And it's Death, it's Charon. And you're like, okay.
Charon? Karen?
Oh, no.
Hoods?
Yeah, so you have to figure that all out during the game. But this guy, his race apparently came to Earth a long time ago and helped like make humans into a more civilized creatures.
Yeah.
And they started that with the Sumerians. And then eventually humans got too large. And so they split up. And they were like, yeah, we're fucking good now. We don't need you gods. And then they fought, and they were like, well, we fucking failed. I guess we're out.
Yeah.
And this one chick was like, I'm not out. I love humans. They're cool. They're sweet.
Persephone?
Yeah,
well, not Persephone.
yeah, I don't remember her
name.
original name, but yeah.
Proseph, or I don't know. It's something
I don't know,
weird like that.
I
But
think-
it's Persephone, basically.
Yeah, the Nurgle name for her, the Sumerian name was like started with an M or something, so I don't remember what her fucking name is.
It's basically, it was supposed to be Persephone and Hades.
Yeah. No.
That's what I got from it.
Wait, Persephone and Hades?
Yeah.
No, Osiris. Oh, sorry, not Osiris. No, you're right, Hades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, god of the underworld.
Yeah.
and-
So, yes,
and-
he's Hades. She's Persephone,
Yeah.
who was kidnapped by whatever.
Yeah.
So she gave up her immortal self to become mortal.
Yep.
And doing that, she pissed off this guy who loved her. And
Yep.
he's like, fine, fucking bubble frozen, bitch.
Yep.
And he's a creepy stalker guy.
Yep.
And that's what he is.
And he pretty much trapped everyone there just to keep her trapped there.
Yeah. So no. So this was the thing about this. In the end, Jupiter, another one of the gods
Yeah.
that came with him, could have restored her immortality because that's what his goal was. And he said he'd only do it if humans can live a full year without sin.
That's right.
And if you
It's the wager.
Yeah, so the wager is if you can get humans to live a full year without sin, then I'll give her immortality back. But if you can't, you have to give up on this whole thing.
Which is a bet he can't win because
Yeah, humans can't do
Humans
that.
can't
Because
go
sin
without
is
sin.
also perspective.
yeah.
So, and this guy's so fucking dumb. He's like, fuck yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, which actually, there's one thing I gotta say for this game that it did really well with that, because it really was based on perspective.
Yeah.
Because there's when you save Fabia from the assassin, when you go up to her at the bakery, if you tell her to go to the bakery instead of going under the shrine, she's like, "Hey, what happened to
I fucking
the
murked
assassin?"
him.
And I was like, "Oh, well, he went into the shrine collapsed on his head." And she's like, "Did you know it was gonna do that?"
No.
And
No.
if you
If you
say
say yes, yeah, I had that happen.
I said yes, and then it's like, you committed a cardinal sin.
You
or
don't know
whatever.
that.
And she's like, because if you knew about it, then it's considered murder.
Well, what's weird is he's not part of a time loop.
I know.
So I'm so confused constantly because I'm like, okay, but how would I have known that? I guessed that it was going to be fucking crumbling without even being there. Like, I'm so confused.
Well, because the voice tells you to do it, and if you actually go over to that, there's a note on it that says this is about to crumble.
Oh, that's
don't go
true.
in.
That's true. I forgot about the fucking note. I did see that note.
So then one of the other cool things is I did that again. I went back to my safe.
Did
and
you
did
have to
it,
talk to Fabia?
But then I lied to her and I said, no, I didn't know about it. And she's like, oh, I see what you're doing. I won't tell anyone. Wink, wink. I know what you did. And I was like, so if you think it was the right thing to do, then it's not a sin. But if she thought it was murder, then it was a sin.
If you actually remember what the guy said, he's constantly listening, and he doesn't get, he doesn't understand that way of speech for humans. He actually doesn't understand.
That's right, sarcasm.
Yeah, he doesn't understand sarcasm.
That's right, I forgot about that.
He's completely fucking, he's like, I'm just listening all the time. And they're like, I didn't kill this person. And he's like, all right, he says he didn't fucking kill him. I don't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just really oblivious. So the wager anyway, he's got a wager. The point of the wager, I think, was for Neptune, or not Neptune, Jupiter.
Jupiter, yeah.
Who is the
He's
leader.
the Zeus of Romans.
He's the leader of the people from Elysium. That's their planet. Had made that wager to make him realize, like, her choices are hers, their choices are theirs.
Yeah.
They get to make those choices without us interfering too much.
Yeah.
And him being a dumb motherfucker was like, fuck no, they don't get to make any fucking choices. I'll fucking get them. I'll get them. I'll fucking get them now.
Kill him now.
So yeah, yes, you're right. So you have a logical argument based on things you did in the game to try to make him release her, but you can't tell him that she's been whispering to you.
Yes.
Because if you do, he realizes that the game is broken, and then he just kills everyone.
Yep.
So, and I think that was the bad ending. That's the way I should have done it, because it kept implying that heavily.
Yeah.
And it's really easy. Like I said, I barely tried on this dialogue. I'm like, so.
And it didn't seem like it was too hard.
It was not hard at all. But you get to ask him some questions like about why they're gods or whatever, and he's like, every religion kind of just copies whatever the fuck the Sumerians did.
Well, and it seems like they're not immortal. They just live for thousands of years.
Yeah. No, they're immortal.
Well, because at one point in the video I was watching, he asked, because he's like, we just have different, we live longer than you, like we live thousands of years while you live 100. And the guy asked, he's like, oh, so you're not immortal? And he's like, do not say shit like that to me again. I'm like, wait, so are you or aren't you?
So I think they probably are immortal.
Okay.
I think so, because that's the whole gist of this. Although they don't exist in the future.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So I'm wondering if they do.
No, I think he ended up leaving.
Oh, that could be too.
Because eventually you lose your bet.
True.
So yeah, you just convince him to kind of stop the golden rule. That's your goal in this. Get rid of the golden rule so you can get everyone out of there.
Yeah.
And kill that guy so the paradox is created. I think that's your goal, but it ends up just being you convince him so hard that he just frees everyone and sends them back to their time.
Yeah.
You think.
Yes.
So you think they would send them all back to the time they were brought in there, but in actuality, so you all died.
Yes.
Everyone in this place died, and if you had this special coin, he brought you here instead of having you die.
Yes.
So he brought you back to life, essentially.
Basically.
So, and this is a real place, I'm pretty sure. It's not like a made-up place. I'm pretty sure.
Think it actually is.
Yeah, it's a real place hidden somewhere where humans can't find it.
It's kind of like a limbo of sorts.
Yeah, somewhere near the Tiber.
Yeah.
So it's got to be near the Tiber River.
But it's like a godly existence thing. You can only get passage through there if you die in possession of a coin.
And then his little oracle person takes you there.
Yes.
So everyone's dead, so you get everything done, and the only person who does not get to leave is one who chose to be turned to gold instead.
Yes.
And that's Sentius.
Yeah.
He's the only one who just doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
So he stays. You go back to your time. You find Alan. He's like, hey, bro, I'm just kind of hanging out. What's up with you? And you're like, I know you. And you're like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah,
And then
I
he's
fucking
like,
know
I
you.
read your name in a thing a little while back.
Your name is Dick Fuck Punch Bitch? I can't believe it. You could make your name anything. So it's really funny when you hear them sit there and say, oh, I read your name. I was like, you read Dick Fuck Punch Bitch? I don't understand.
Did you also make your name Dick Fuck?
No, but it would have been funny, right? You could have done that.
I saw one guy in a video I was watching for because I was trying to figure out how to get one of the endings. He put his name as the Monster Mash.
So yeah, you can literally put your name as anything, and it'll be like, I saw your name in a tablet. So in the tablet, it describes that you helped everyone, and then suddenly you were gone. You went into the temple, and then everyone was freed, and they left that tablet there. And then once they walk out, they actually come to your time. So you end up going out with Alan, making it to the ending, and talking to Karen alone for a second.
Yep.
And she explains to you, like, hey, yeah, you broke the game or whatever, but you did a good job. Let's not mention this to anyone. Blah, blah,
Which
blah.
I love that because she like goes into her like
Evil
red
face,
eyes and evil face and everything, and then she's like saying all these things, and then like Al starts coming. He's like, "Oh, Al's coming! Oh, hi, Al!"
Yeah, she goes back in a normal Karen.
I'm like, how do you do?
I'm just so confused to why she even wanted to help Al in the first
I
place.
don't
I am
know.
so fucking confused.
Maybe
I
she
had
just
no
liked it.
idea. Yeah, maybe she was like best friends with Al or
Maybe.
something. And then you can find out how you died. For me, I'm assuming each person had their own separate death. I don't know for
Maybe.
sure, but for me it was I was searching ruins. I found the 2 coins. 2 robbers tried to take them from me, and a guy came and helped me, and that guy was Al, but we both got stabbed. They had weapons and we didn't.
I think it was similar for the soldier. I
Would've
went
been
to go help Al with something, and we both got murdered.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what. I don't think it was a
Yeah.
archaeology thing.
Yeah, well, unless you, so I think unless you did that last ending, you don't get to know that she's like the riverboat person.
Yeah.
So you don't get to know your death or whatever. But after that, you get to go to a museum.
Yes.
So Al, like, curates a museum with all the shit he found in the hidden city.
Yeah, and this was interesting because he's like, "Oh, I've got like kind of a surprise for you if you just walk down that way.
Yeah,
and I'll
you-
meet you at the end." And-
Yeah, so you meet everybody you met in the town. They're all in the
Yep.
future now. Fucking
which
weird.
I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, but each one has an individual story that was pretty
Like
cool.
Gallus and the priestess are together
Yep,
now.
they're getting married because when she turns 36, she's allowed to get married, like her vow is done or something. And I was like, okay, but she's probably just gonna get married like now, right?
Yeah.
Now it doesn't fucking matter. She understands that the gods are bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're getting married. This the main bad guy who's like the arch rival to Sentius,
Malleus.
Malleus.
Well, Quintius, I guess.
Quintus, something like that. Yeah.
He goes by both names.
Yeah,
You
Quintus
figure that
is
out.
like an illegal name that he
Which,
can't.
that was crazy when you found out he's the one who started the fires that killed everybody.
No, so it's rumored that he is. It actually isn't true.
Okay. Well, the Emperor thought.
Yeah, the
Quintus
Emperor
did.
tried to find a scapegoat, probably.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually a pretty popular thing that Nero tried to blame the Christians.
That's true.
And they claimed
Okay.
he was Christian, but he actually wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird thing.
Okay.
So you find out he is in prison. I don't remember why.
Oh, yeah.
But some of them are really funny. His wife is really... Was it his wife?
Claudia.
I don't think maybe it was his wife. One of the characters is like, she's actually doing really well. She ended up marrying into royalty. I hope she's really happy with that Nigerian prince.
Oh,
It's like the funniest
God
ending.
damn it.
for-
I
one
bet
of-
it was Claudia.
Yeah, I
though.
think it was, but one of
Yeah.
them. Oh no, it was the bartender.
Oh,
the bar owner.
yeah.
Claudia drunk herself into death.
Yeah,
She's basically
that's
dead,
right.
I think. Not Ralph. I don't know why Rufius. Not
Rufus,
Ralph.
yeah.
Ralphius. Rufus and Virgil get married.
Oh!
Rufus and Virgil are in a relationship together.
Yeah.
Who else is in the fucking game? The guy got rich from the stock market.
Yes.
The General
Decius.
Yeah,
or-
and you can fuck with him by telling him like, yeah, invest in I don't remember what. It was
I didn't
really
see this
funny.
dialogue thing, 'cause
You get to invest. You tell him to invest in something that's clearly like gonna fail. Oh, it's in typewriters and something else that's really old. He's like,
you.
I'm calling a comeback, and he goes home. He's investing all his money in it.
That's awesome.
You can fuck because he tried to kill you with the fucking bow.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. And then
But he's the only reason why you figured out how to get to that.
the Greek guy's a famous fashion designer now.
Yes.
Kabosh is there. I don't remember what Kabosh ended up doing. Oh, I think he's a scholar.
Okay.
The old guy you meet is a university professor at Cambridge, I want to say.
What about the suicide pair?
So that guy's married to Centilla.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
that-
because they were in
Or
love.
they're either married or together. I think they have kids too.
Yeah, because they were actually in love with each other.
Lulia is doing really well. I don't remember what her story was, but I remember her doing well. She's the one who tells you that Claudia and the bartender are
Yeah.
in
or-
the shits.
Yeah.
So, and then the last person you meet,
Which her story was fucked.
who?
Lulia?
Yeah, she gets sold.
She gets
What's it
tricked
called?
by sold into slavery or
So she basically is told that there's a way out of that place, but and it costs 1,000 gold, and she has to take a loan out with Malleus, and then the person who sold it to her is the bartender, and she gives her the
Poison.
way out, and it's actually just to commit suicide.
yeah, and then
You're
she doesn't, but then she can't pay the 1,000 back to Malleus.
So
which
she's
she
now a
wasn't
slave.
Going to because. Which I'm guessing is exactly how they tricked the other
Yeah,
guy
probably,
too, because it was
yeah.
1,000 gold for that too.
They did that on purpose for
Yeah.
sure. So the last person you meet is Al.
Yeah.
Not really, but Al.
Yeah.
Al's there at the end, and you're like talking to him, and then suddenly you hear behind you like, "Look behind you."
Yeah, it's the voice that you've heard
Yeah.
throughout all the statues.
You turn around and it's the lady, and she's like, "It's me." And you're like, I've been saving that joke for 1,000 years," is what she says.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Like,
that was pretty
it was fucking
funny.
beautiful.
And you find out from her that all the people down at the gallery too, all the other people there,
Yeah.
are all people you saved. They're all golden statues as well.
Yep.
So you literally just saved everyone. And they hinted at a sequel.
Yes.
Because they said the Karen is working on a new underworld.
Yeah.
And she'll probably be done with it soon, and I'm sure we'll all end up there someday. So
Yeah.
either she's saying, like, you're obviously going to die,
Yeah.
or she's saying that there might be a sequel in the works for another game with Karen as the main antagonist.
Yes.
So
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we ready to get into our last thing?
I think so.
Worth, or not.
I'm going to go nah.
Bullshit.
This game was shit. The directions. I will say one thing that I hated about this game. Did you do the mayoral election?
No.
You would have noticed this right away. When whoever gets elected, everyone claps. Nobody's clapping, but you hear. And I'm like, they couldn't just put a little bit of effort in to make their hands just kind of touch each
No,
other.
not at all.
It's like, where is this clapping coming
That's
from?
a lot of animation work.
Apparently, it was just really funny. I'm like, where fucking clapping? I had to look around. I'm like, nobody's clapping.
But seriously though, I definitely say this game's worth.
Yeah, I'll go Worth. I think I'll agree with you on that one.
I think this game was really, really fucking cool. It was
Yeah.
interesting. It was different than most other games I've played.
Yeah.
And for a small team production, like this was pretty impressive.
Although they did have a good starting point with Skyrim already being like,
Yeah.
like they already had the idea of what the facial animations would look
Yeah.
like and everything. Yeah, but this game blew me away. I played it for like 4 hours my first day nonstop and 5 hours my second day nonstop.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't stop playing because I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen
I
next?
did, I think, like 3 hours, 3 different times or something
Yeah.
like that.
So it was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed playing this game, and there was nothing about this game that I really didn't like besides like some little animation stuff that a team of 3
Yeah.
couldn't possibly fucking
Well,
deal with.
and there's some like small slight things,
Yeah.
like some things that were just kind of clanky, or some things where you're just like, I should be able to jump on this, but I can't, or whatever. But like for the most part,
Yeah.
this game was pretty solid, and it was interesting as fuck, and the story was compelling, and I loved all the different dialogue things and the different like how everything weaved together really well.
Yeah.
Like I thought they really did a really good job story wise with how everything weaved together and the different endings and them actually having an impact. Like I really enjoyed it.
Yep, I'm gonna go Worth 2. I'm gonna say my favorite part of this game, and it's gonna be fucked up. So there's a part where a guy's trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
He jumps off a roof.
Yeah.
And he jumps off a very tall
Yeah.
into the thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Did you actually do this part?
Where you jump off too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't fall and jump off, there's no lake there.
I know.
So he has to crash his body through.
I thought the same thing because like there was one time.
Oh, if you go back up there and look up, there's no lake there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He makes the lake? Because the voice whispers, jump to. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, God.
Well, I was like, why do you want me to jump? He just committed suicide. But
Yeah.
then that's how you get.
I thought
into-
that was the funniest fucking
Oh,
shit
man.
I've ever seen. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
He created this pool of water by smashing his body through it? This is fucked. It was really funny, though.
There was a lot of just crazy things in this game.
It's all good. You can save him later. He'll come back. He'll just have momentary pain and then be dead.
Yeah.
But,
And you can make him the happiest person in the world. And you
Yeah.
actually, you're like, don't commit suicide. I just freed you. You're not a slave anymore. Yeah?
You're like,
whoa! And then he like sprints off. Lulia, we're not slaves anymore.
yeah, what's funny is he's like that. He's like, don't commit suicide. You're not a slave anymore. I gotta go. See ya. I got another guy to talk to.
Which it was kind of funny. And then it was funny because I don't know if you did this, but I actually followed him to Lulia. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they chat. Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to follow him. If you have what's his face do it too, you can actually just go outside the church and listen to them
that's
talking
true.
about it. So.
But it was cool. Like I went up and I'd like listened to them, and we're not slaves anymore. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of heartwarming. Like this is kind of nice. This is kind of cool.
And then they're like, let's fuck.
Pretty much.
No, he's married.
He's married.
Married to love with Scintilla.
He's in love with Scintilla. He's not married to her yet.
All right, well, that was a game.
Yes.
All right, so next week's game is
Injustice.
Injustice. This one will be easier. We won't go